Hello, one and all. Welcome to the Proving Grounds and welcome to Bash 101. Second episode, just as exciting as the first time. Okay, here we go. The reason why I'm actually doing this video is to want to recap for myself, because if I don't, I'm going to be out of practice and that makes me next to useless. So here we go. Uh, the goal here is for navigation, so we're going to cover the basics here. It's just a few commands. It's pretty easy and straightforward. You have your terminal here, and when you log into any new computer, let's say it's not your own, this one here, it already tells you what it is. It's my Surface Pro, it's got my login right there, that's fine. But if you actually did an SSH or you remoted into somebody else's computer and you're not quite sure whose computer you're on, you basically just say, who am I? All one word, and then you hit it. And what you saw up here is what comes up here. It tells you that the login is Pepe. That's me here. So, now, once you're there, you want to know which directory you're in. Right? This is the home directory, but just in case you didn't know where you were, you would just go pwd, that's present working directory. It will tell you the home and the user that you're in. That's fine. Next command that's very basic, but everybody needs to know it, is ls. It's just short for list. If you use Windows, you're familiar with the exact same thing, only the command is dir for directory, which would give you the contents of that directory. This does the same thing, ls, and it's giving you a breakdown of what's in the user directory. It's your desktop, downloads, pictures, snaps, which I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming that's snap packs, which is a type of format for loading software. I got to do some more reading up on that, but that's neither here nor there. You have these other directories, which are kind of your basics: videos, documents, music, public, so forth. Now, once you're there, you need to actually be able to navigate. And this is an old standard. It's the same in Windows. It's also here. It's CD. Stands for change directory. Now, we want to pick a directory. We're already in the users directory. So, we can just go right into, let's say, documents. And one thing about Linux you have to be aware is it is very case sensitive. So that means if I just wrote this all lowercase, and you can't just put CD and documents like that together, you gotta have a space between them. And then you go, and now you're in documents. You can see it's highlighted in blue instead of the fancy matrix green that we have going on here for the rest of the root. So from there, you want to know what's going on. You can do a PWD here also, just so that way you got clarification as to where you are in the hierarchy. But you don't need to do that if you already know where you're going. And then you do a list to see what's in there. I got one file. It's an HTML file. It's titled hard info. Now, for me to actually find out what's going on in that file, if I want to see what's going on, I need to read it. And for that, I'm going to use this command. It's called cat, short for concatenate. And it's not just to read things. You can do other things with concatenate. But for our use, we just want to see what's inside the file. So it's cat, and when the name of the file. And if it's all one word, you don't have to do any quotes or anything like that. You can just write it in. But if you have like a space between anything, you'd have to put the whole thing in quotes. Otherwise, it's not going to accept it. If you don't believe me, try it. You'll find out for yourself. Just trying to save you some time. Now, type it in, and here we go. The contents of that HTML file. And at the bottom, here we are. We're back at it. Now, we can do a list again. There's nothing else there. We could go CD and then dot dot. That takes us back one step. PWD to confirm. You see, there we are. Now we do ls, and you can see we have the other directories. Now, Let's say we want to go to another directory and see if there's anything else to look at. We can go to, say, CD downloads. Now we're there. We do an ls, and you see we actually have two things there. We have a PNG file, and we also have the team viewer that I downloaded in order to make this happen. Now, I could just do a cat, and I'm a little lazy. I'm just going to do a cut and paste here, or copy and paste, and hit enter. And isn't that cool? That's everything that's inside that PNG file. But if I didn't want to look at it like that, I could just try to do and just type, oh, correction. I'll just try to paste that in without the cat and see what happens. It's not a command. Sudo and paste. See what I find. And password. And there we go. No commands. Not everything you can pull up with cat. But that pretty much covers everything here. We covered whoami. We covered PWD for the working directory. LS to see what's in the directory. CD in order to change directory. And cat in order to read what's in the files. Or most of the files. If you have any questions or any ideas as to anything else you want to know in Bash, hit me up. Send me a DM. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Send me an email. Find a way to communicate with me and let me know what you want, and we'll see if we can make something happen. Now, with that, everybody have a good night.